Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib, Vengeance. I hear from around that it's just going swimmingly at this point. Everything's planned around the OP or Doc 15, OP 11. So yeah, so let's move on, and we'll take a look at some of the targets in a little bit. But right now, let's just get rid of some slides and move forward. And I was kidding about all that stuff. So, no, okay, there we go. The first composite wall in a line of defense is now hit first during base attacks. Was it hitting the last one, or was it hitting all three at the same time? I'm not sure. Does anybody know what this means?
Not sure.
Okay. And they are aware of ongoing issues with composite walls stacking and are working to fix this as soon as possible. So I guess this is an issue. When I saw those bases with the base name of Stacked, I didn't realize this was what it was related to, but I guess I know.
Oh, you thought of something else when you heard it was Stacked.
Yeah. I didn't know, but it appears that is the issue, not what I originally thought. So
they left something out on the bug fixes. Do you know about it? What they left out?
There's a couple things they left out. We'll get to those.
Okay.
I got some clips here.
Okay.
Fix an issue where screen will go black upon completing a level 68 titanium blitz target. Okay. Fix an issue where warning messages appeared in the wrong color. And fix an issue where full screen didn't work while using. Okay. Yep. All right.
Sorry, I rolled the wheel.
Okay. While using armor games. So, any of these of interest to anybody?
Nope.
Okay.
One thing I did, I destroyed 4 regular walls to make one of the new ones, and it wouldn't do it. I had to destroy one more to make it. I had to do 5 to make one. It was
meaning that you were up against a wall limit or a resource limit or something else?
A wall limit, I think. I mean, I took 4 of the existing walls and recycled them so I could make one of the new ones. And it wouldn't let me. It said I was short one, so I had to actually take out 5 to get one. I don't know if that's a bug or not.
Okay.
Just happened to me.
Okay. All right. Well, one click.
Yeah. Sorry, I rolled a wheel by mistake on that other.
Okay. The other thing that they've updated is that Tier 9 Conqueror Halls cannot be used to defend your base. I didn't have any in my base, but this is
I do.
Okay. This is the pop-up that occurs when you try to put a Tier 9, at this point, your Warhound, into your defender slot. I don't know if you can put it in another slot and then use it as a defender. I don't know, but this is the message you get at this point. We were told this was not going to be activated. This was part of the package associated with the change in the PvP rules, but it appears it's dropped intentionally at this point in time, and it's not accidental. I can imagine that because of the new Conqueror that they released. Seems like it would be a powerful defender.
I found out when I tried to recall my fleet, and I couldn't. You can't recall it if you have a Conqueror in it. There's ways to get around it. What they told, I sent a ticket, and they told me to just pick another fleet and set it to defend, and that'll recall the fleet. I haven't tried it because I'm going to leave it as long as I can until I get smashed, which probably won't be long. Then I'll swap it out, but I can't recall it either.
Okay. And we all wish the best to Stormcatcher.
Oh, no.
So hope everything works out fine for him. So hope to see him back soon. And let's see. Any other experiences with this Tier 9 Conqueror Halls. I mean, just the fact that it sort of came early, wasn't in the announcements, made me think it was potentially a mistake until I looked at the stats on the new ship that they were dropping.
It makes sense, but they should have told us.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't defend our bases now. The best hope we had was using Conquerors. So I'm not really happy about it, but I haven't been happy about a lot of things lately. So we'll just have to, I'm just going to keep my fleet out once I get it out.
Okay. And so what you said, I was reading that other thing, what you said the options were to, if you want to get...
What Kix told me to do was to, what the directly expert player said to do was to select another fleet and set it to defend. And then that would knock the existing fleet back out so I can have access to my Conquerors.
Okay.
But they're stuck. Until I do that, they're stuck. Because you can't recall them.
Okay. Yeah, and we've also had a chance to get to it yet, but there's a new PvE Hall calendar post, which I don't know what it means at this point that just dropped, but we'll get to that in a minute. One more click, Mike. We also have an additional 2 HT transformers that we're allowed to put on our base at this point in time. The limit's gone from 8 to 10. So I didn't know where else to put it, so I put it here. So, and it also helps that we get the 2 new, the cannon and the thrower that were released in Bounty are now also available. So, and okay, well that loads for me. Let's move on to we're in Vengeance. 3-week rates are FM Cycle, Art Showcase, then Bounty 30, and CM Diary. We didn't even get the full month this time. I mean, there is 31 days in March, so I'm not really sure what happened here. So hopefully it means something is changing for the best. Maybe they're going to make it in the future, working it out so we can go from raid to raid as opposed to just on the calendar.
Can we assume that with the 10-12 that the XP will happen?
Yeah, I would assume that would happen at that point too. Right now, I'm looking at this calendar that they've put out, and I don't quite understand it at this point. So we'll get to this after I'll have some time to deal with it while we're taking a look at some of the targets. So let's move on to the next slide. All right, Vengeance. It appears in Vengeance in Canada is shooting a BB gun at somebody's windshield, it appears. So let's move on. We have 1 X target that's new, 2 new S targets for the Punisher MK2. There's the 100, 102, and I think 507. And then we have older targets for the Riot and Dragoon and whatnot. We're also getting the X1 upgrades, which we'll talk about for both the Punisher and the Atomic Punisher. The new Conqueror Hall, and weapon, which we're not going to talk about at this point because I didn't think we would have enough time. So we'll talk about those on Friday. And we get the new Drag Heavy Thrower, which we will talk about. So let's move to the next one. All right. We have the 507, which gives you 500,000 event points, and drops the D99 U shards times 2. That's guaranteed, and a 250k drop. As far as I know, these are not co-op. And then we have the the 100 and 102. and we're getting more detail on those. And the shard drop can either be 1 or 2 on those. So you're going to get 1 million for the S targets and 750 for the X target. Okay, and nothing on those. We'll move on. All right. 507. This seems like a ramped up version of the other ones as we've seen previously with the X targets. The 100 level target appears to be the auto target. They have mines in them, but they don't do any damage. And as a result, you'll see more powerful defensive turrets. And the 102 appears to be the driving target. So, and these also include the throwers. I guess the 100 does not include the throwers as well. So a lot of people already know this. So unless anybody has anything to say, we can move on. Okay. Yeah, and these are just the rest of the targets. Riot and Raging Riots, Dragoons, and open to all PvE hulls, but Silverfish is recommended, and if you're willing to grind for 38 hours a day to get enough points to do anything. So. Okay.
I'm going to say that the A targets are going to be really good ones to hit with your riots if you're finding that the damage is too high on the other ones.
Yeah. No, I agree. Maybe we'll take a peek at those. Are yours at X1, Derpy?
My riots are not, no.
Okay. So that's even a better test to see, non-X1 riots and see how well they could potentially perform. So, all right, let's move on. These are the components of the targets. There's 3 turrets, and then some other stuff thrown in. The rapid fire cannon has a high rate of fire that will deal sustained damage to a hull if not taken out quickly. And the damage type is ballistic. Do you want to withhold any comments, Derpy, until we actually look at the targets?
Yeah, because I've heard they've changed some things around.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just quickly go through what Kixeye said, and then we'll see if we can figure it out later. Because previously this was dealt with quite well with evade. So, all right. Let's go to the next one. The Coaxial Launcher, which has 2 different ranges. Hopefully the ranges have stayed similar to what we saw in the VXP targets, where you could you have one long range damage, radioactive damage launcher coming at you until you got to just at sniping range. And once you crossed over sniping range, you had a much more powerful radioactive thrower coming at you from the Coaxial Launcher. So, okay, let's move on to the next one. Barrage Thrower, a bunch of flame, different, then a little bit different in the way it's, at least what we saw in the VXP target, a little bit different than what we saw with the Dragoon targets. Not quite as linear, but I don't know. They just look different to me. And this is the only one that they that mentions splash damage. The other ones did not mention splash damage. Okay, let's move on. Cryo Mine. The picture shows both the Cryo Mine beacon, and then below is the Cryo Mine. That, at least with the VXP targets, once you kill the beacon, the cryo mines will start moving in mass towards some destination, and then they'll blow themselves up. So, and again, as a reminder, the 100 mines don't do any damage. I'm assuming they don't do anything else.
They slow you or anything?
I will see, I guess. Yeah. I almost feel like we did this backwards, like we should have seen, because we're used to the VXP target, and now we're talking about it, and, and then there's, because, click one more time. All right, because it's the biofuel refueling station. We're in the VXP target. Even though you got all these combat speed and reload and damage boost, you were still slowed down in these in the slicks, or whatever you want to call it, the auras or whatever that were put out by these biofuel stations. So I don't. Again, we don't know what happens at this point. So that's all right. Should we hit the derpy? Do you want to hit the any targets at this point, or?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Why don't you share your screen? There we go. All right, this is the 100, and I'll put you on full screen here. And this is the one that's supposed to be the auto target.
Yep, and I'm gonna drive this one.
Good luck.
Yeah, I would recommend it at this point. Everything I've read.
Okay, and then we had the screenshots in there. We didn't show it. I guess in sort of pan around, it looks like similar design to everything we've seen. Oh, whoa. The ballistic cannon shooting a lot faster. It's very rapid fire now.
And painful from the looks of it.
Did you go with? You are at the 200 weight limit, and did you go with the evade build that people were talking about?
I went with the same build on every ship. Every ship has agility 4, but there's no super high evade one individual ship, which is probably
Okay.
probably a benefit.
All right, and Robinson Biggins says, "Hey guys, we've already made changes to the 100 and continue to work on it." So, yeah, I guess the good news is it used to be worse. So that's yeah. Okay. Here's the bio refueling station.
I was just going to make a comment about his damage, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't appear that it's slowing you down at all, like it did before.
It's speeding me up now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now the mines here won't cause damage, but the ice fields still will slow you down, right?
I assume so. Yeah. So you're taking about 1, 2, 3, 6 salvos.
Now Cuttlefish has a point.
What did he say?
They didn't
Yeah.
reap the 100.
You might be hitting an old 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, this is not confirmed, Paul. That's what I think a lot of people are currently complaining about, that they did build with high evade. And then, as we talked about on the last Wednesday show, that some of the designers made it seem like that wouldn't work as well in the actual raid targets.
See, they really need to tell us this stuff before we spend the time building.
I think about a month in advance would be pretty good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I know they had a strategy guide, but it didn't help me figure out a build. It didn't tell me that I was going to need evade because accuracy was
And it
important.
only dropped the day the raid started, day before.
Yeah, but it still didn't help me much in trying to figure out which build to go with. But yeah, we need this information a lot sooner than they give it to us.
So I can't tell if these weapons here, these high rate of fire cannons, are dealing splash damage or evade. Splash damage or accuracy damage. I can't tell what they're doing.
Well, there's also the possibility that they're dumbfire, non-splash, but well, you have equal damage.
Looks like the flagship took less because it has higher inherent survival.
Yeah.
Damage on the other 4.
So it appears that there's, I would think that it's doing some degree of splash if you're getting relatively equal damage across your ships.
Yeah. Also, if you look at this biofuel thing, it doesn't pop until I drive near it, and then it pops. I don't shoot at that.
Yeah.
That's a weird mechanic.
It's sort of like a mine.
Yeah.
With
It's
big
a
area.
torque power that acts like a mine. Why didn't they just make it a mine?
I'll test these mines. Let's see if I'm gonna drive over and see if I'm slowed down. Yeah, I'm slowed down.
Okay.
So agility 4 can help there.
Does it? It's
No, because this is an aura. I'm assuming
you
this
need
is
a
an
tactical.
aura.
You need a tactical field resistor.
Yeah. Because when it says slow means that it's going to impact you if something is fired at you that's like a projectile or something that's that would slow you down, not something that creates a field.
I can tell already from this damage, I don't even want to attempt this target. What's the point? Might as well just keep building my fleet for when my dock is done someday. These riots.
Okay, looks like about 3/4 or 2/3 of my fleet is dead on this one target.
Yeah, which is not. Hopefully, it's the old one.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Yeah.
Because they only incrementally improve them. So
Okay, let's see. It's about 50-50 ballistic radioactive damage. I am evading some damage.
6%, and you have a how much evade do you have on your ships?
I can pull. I'm not sure. It's just agility 4, and then the inherent evade in the hull if there is any.
And also on the engine. Well, you still have the Scorcher, and then what's your flag?
The flag's the same as everything else. This is my one build I have on
all
everything.
Scorchers. Okay, so you're.
Let's see. Defense,
65.
evade bonus, 65 evade.
Okay. So it's doing something, but it's not, not a cure-all.
Does that mean I need even higher evade to take less damage?
But yeah,
I'm totally guessing that that's mostly splash since it's even, and that evade isn't going to help, right? Evade doesn't help you.
there
Splash.
could be other things going on. They could also be doing priority target. They could be doing other things. It's that's why I wish it was as we mentioned. As Derpy mentioned before, we mentioned multiple times that if we got the strategy guide, a more detailed. You want to hit the 100 again?
I'm gonna take 2 ships and park them under some firing stuff and see which one's see if it's splash damage or not splash damage.
Okay.
I'll just do that before I do the 102.
But evade doesn't help slash damage, is that right?
Correct.
Which is why I was wondering why everybody thought kicks would be nice for once and start hitting one ship instead of all of them.
I wish they would be nice and just tell us.
Well, yeah, that would be a nice start, but it's predictable that they're doing a lot of splash. And I did the same thing with the evade, being 59 or whatever percent, but it's not going to help, I don't think.
It still looks like evade.
But that evade score on your results was pretty low.
So there's your 2 and your 3 are out. You put out there, right?
Yeah. I can't drive them 100% stacked with waypoints because I'm on HTML5 and waypoints don't work right, or driving partial ships at one time doesn't work right with HTML5.
Okay.
Okay, I evaded some more on this one. So evade does work. Maybe they just increase the damage? Or increase the accuracy?
Why would your evade work better on this one than the last one?
I meant I don't know.
Well, because you got 6% on the last one, and you
Maybe
got,
this is
like,
the new target?
maybe that is the difference.
We'll have to do some more testing and stuff on that, but do you want to do a 102 now?
Sure. This is the driving target.
We gotta place bets on whether he makes it or not.
I think he's going to take less damage on the driving target than on the auto target.
Which is the one where the mines can hurt you.
Yeah. But they do that. They ramp up the damage on the turrets, the unavoidable damage on the auto targets. I always call it the automatic damage targets.
Okay.
So, and
I think it's bad. There's a lot of people that did get their dock finished and are capable of doing a good fleet. And then a lot of us aren't even close.
well, and I'm not sure. I'm going to be one of those people. I just don't know that.
Oh, I should have used it.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that we're going to do any better.
Oh, I think people.
Well, somewhat better. It's just a matter of how they balance these and what we're actually building to. Because you're getting fairly frequent shockwaves.
I've designed my build to have one shockwave every round. Every salvo should have one shockwave.
Okay. And you're still not.
My shockwave damage, I guess, just isn't high enough.
But even if you have limited, you only have 6 as opposed to, even though you have less launchers, the more launchers doesn't increase your shockwave damage. It's just the specials associated with them.
And if it's worth noting, I have all the limited launchers.
Okay.
And this target looks to be exactly the same layout as the 102 or the VXP target that we got.
Okay.
That scares me a little bit because how many of us have a full complement of limited?
Yeah.
They balanced the target for something, but it wasn't our ships.
Oh, I'm at U0, by the way.
Okay.
And I saw one of them. They're all lightly armored.
They all only have one armor plate because of weight.
Okay.
So that's probably a big difference.
Yeah. Well, he went with more of a damage and some evade.
Which scares me. See how long it's taking to take down a turret? and he's gone damage plus, and so I'm going to be sitting there for 5 minutes taking down one turret, I think.
Yeah. If you're high evade, it's going to take you longer. You might survive longer, but it'll take you longer, and the target's long as it is.
The other problem is people are getting these high evade builds by putting on lower cannon mount 2, which reduces your combat speed, which is harder to avoid these big red glowing things and the mines.
I took those off. I've thought better of it after seeing that build. I was like, I like my speed. Especially because of the red glowy things has been their favorite thing to do now, is make you run away from something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wish they gave free refeds during the raid. Wouldn't that be nice?
it's almost like it had shockwave resistance on them, because sometimes he's shockwaving them 6 times to kill it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
5.
2, 3, 4.
That yellow can't be the shockwave because it's happening every volley.
I've
Well,
designed my build so it does happen every volley. So
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, then it's not doing much damage, as he said.
And it's supposed to be doing quite a bit.
Yeah, the shockwave is supposed to do most of the damage.
Yeah, like 12.5 million. So
if you have a build that's not got a lot of shockwave,
What's building the shockwave that much faster? What part of special is that?
it's it's normal specials. You just have to. That's a better question for when I have my build open. That's a good question.
you probably increase supercharge and
multi-shot.
multi-shot. Yeah.
And you have to have enough launchers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That wasn't that bad. Sorry.
And it's going to take the entire fleet.
Yeah.
This is not good. Way to go, Kicks. You did it again.
Yeah, and Cowfish brings up a good point. They don't get rat or building damage, so I'll have to.
Have you noticed how narrow the shockwaves are? They're only hitting. It looks like they're only damaging the turret you're shooting.
Maybe the one next to it a little bit.
Yeah, just scratching it though. It's not. It's like the shockwaves are limited to like one turret, which is really not much of a shockwave, is it? When you think about it, it's not a very shocking wave. But
Yeah, that's right.
it's more like a shock point.
Yeah, well, at least it's not like the shocker, so
So if Kickside tuned this target for the double dock that I have,
yeah,
I don't think they did a very good job.
No.
There's way too many variables that they didn't either make it really easy. Okay, so 7% evaded and 4.
Yeah, 4% ballistic, 7% radioactive.
That's hardly anything, though.
Yeah, it's not even worth putting my evade special on my hull. I should have something else on there instead.
Yeah, because you could get quite a bit
Kill
more
it
damage.
faster.
You could lower, take a salvo or 2 out of there. That would, so.
Wow.
Well, do you want to try the big one?
You.
I don't know. Do you want it, or do you want to hit with? Well, I guess you just said instant repair. So I was going to say you could either hit that one or do the riot targets to see how people, because that might end up being the most useful for people. But yeah, let's see what this bad boy has.
And this one you can't blitz in case anyone wanted to. It looks bigger.
Yeah, that looks long.
Yeah, especially with all those freaking mines. because these ones do damage, not like the 100. Yeah, these targets look
It looks
a little bit
ridiculous to
tiresome.
me.
Yeah, they look tiresome. Even though I have Doc 16, watching this, I'm more inclined to look at the. Oh, I wonder if we can bring in our suppressors.
That'd be interesting.
They're probably.
I can find out while you're doing that. I'll just test one.
They probably can't. Probably class limited.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that only certain things were allowed in the target.
Yeah.
But I'll try it. I'm really disappointed. I was looking for it, even though I don't PvP, I want to. Mostly, I just want that really cool badge.
The 100 million one?
Oh, the one for getting the trencher. Angry Fox badge. But I have to go for defense.
Okay. Alpha, there is no shipyard upgrade. There is a dock upgrade. Shipyard upgrades do lock you out of building, refitting, or upgrading, but that's not part of this process, at least so far. And we were told it's not going to be. So, yeah, it's the dock, and the dock doesn't stop you from doing anything. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think I'm going to die pretty shortly.
Oh, okay. There you go. Your biofuel station helps you out right there.
Although I did get a couple of shots from that radioactive stuff.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm
closer to it.
avoiding the mines.
No, I won't let me.
Cuttlefish is asking if you're getting any lag in that target.
Not really. I got a little tiny bit in the 102 in one instance, but it looks to be lag free. Probably because no one's hitting these. Oh yeah, I said that out loud.
It will not let you bring a suppressor in.
I just got a little tiny bit of lag there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably me because I tried my suppressor. Sorry.
Yeah, no one's allowed to hit targets.
Yeah. We need to make that rule. If you're watching the show, you can't hit any of the targets that Turpy's hitting.
Don't think the servers work quite like that.
I hate those damn cannons right there.
Which one's those? Fire?
They hurt. Those
Yeah,
are range.
A lot more damage than the GXP targets.
Yeah, they're slow, and you can see them coming, and you can get out of the way. So I like them. It's harder to see the little shells, those little tiny ones. I like the high contrast of those.
Yeah, if they changed them to like a blue silvery color, they would look like a little ghost coming at you. But they do look like flames. But
They look like flames to me.
yeah. But they just move so slow that they feel more like some sort of game I would have played in the 80s.
It reminds me of Thread. If you're an Anne McCaffrey fan, you know what I'm talking about.
I lost my back 4 ships, so I guess I'm retreating if I can find a spot to do that.
Well, so you're going to stick with riots on this raid, eh, Derby?
But it's better than 8 coins a target.
Yeah, that was rough.
All right.
And I started building my fleet. I won the thing last raid. It's not upgraded, but we've been told they were optional.
Mm-hmm. And you went out and earned all of the limited launchers.
Yeah. I got my fleet done for this dock weight. I think I probably have like 20 tons at a 200,000 spare.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine's the same fleet as yours, except I use the new engine. So I'm just going to leave them parked.
Well, maybe they're gonna. I assume they're gonna make more changes.
Well, actually, I do have all mine at U1 and one at U2.
But yeah, unless you
Well,
want to get back in for the points, Derpy. The uh, the the riots.
Holy crap! Yeah, the only difference in mine is I got one more armor. Well, wait, I got 3 more armors.
Hold on, I think I can take my dragoons into this target.
I don't think you can. Okay.
Yeah, tier 8 and 9. They're faster.
They're faster. They're just going to get messed up more by the biofuel.
Probably. Yeah, so that will
Yeah.
stop you from taking that in. But maybe
Yeah.
I can finish off the points on this one real quick.
Yeah, and the difference between ballistic and radioactive might be interesting as well. In case they have a higher resistance to ballistic than radioactive.
My Punishers have a higher radioactive resistance because they have a 1 plate on them. But oh, it looks like there's dead things in this target that think they're alive.
Oh,
Zombies, zombie target.
yeah.
Yeah, these turrets, I killed them all.
Well, they're not
They're
firing at
playing
you.
on.
Yeah, but it
They're
reaches
popping back. They look like they're alive. At least they're not coming for your brain, Sturpy.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to take way too long to do this. They have a really high ballistic resistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'll retreat on this one because I can't kill all these things with my dragoons.
It's too many.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to make it difficult. So we're going to have to spend the next few weeks working on our fleet that we'll get to use once. Hopefully, they're not going to hit us with upgrades. We haven't even finished our fleet.
Well, upgrade on now. We got to go to
mean-
get the next one.
Well, yeah, that we already know about that. But I meant like escalation.
All the damage on my dragoons was, I don't know if it was splash or not, but I didn't evade any of it because I only have like 30% evade on my dragoons.
Yeah, that was what we were seeing. I think with the VXP targets where it was with 200% accuracy that you needed to have above 50% evade to get it to work.
Yeah, and it looks like it was splash damage, or at least they're targeting everything in order.
Yeah.
Or people wanting to see riots? Is that
Yeah,
what I'm
because it
doing
seems
now?
like the best option, I think, for probably 90% of the player base.
Yep. I mean, we've seen these targets before, but I'm happy to do them.
Yeah. If you could run through them just so people, because yours aren't. I forgot to take a look, but yours aren't at. What's the highest? What's the?
I have one at X1 and 4 of them are at U0, so that's pretty
Okay.
low.
These should be the same targets as last month, right?
Wow, so it's like having a 3-month raid with less points.
Yeah, Nathan there is saying the strategy guide says one of the 3 turrets on the strategy guide says it's splash. Well, it doesn't say that the others aren't splash, if that makes sense. They're just they're telling us that big radioactive thrower is splash, but not telling us what the others are. Anyway. Oh, these targets are from the first riot raid. Did I lose connection? Nope.
Okay, so unless they tune these up, they're pretty familiar.
Yep.
They took a while, didn't they? With these long targets.
They were sort of long. I think the timer probably started at 15 minutes at 14 right now, so we'll see when it ends. And I mean, most people in the game have a fleet of rides, even if it's just the free kickside one that they didn't change the special around on.
Yep, and there'll be existing videos from the last raids on how to do these.
From 2 raids ago, and
Right.
what month would that be? It's March, so the January raid is what you want to look for.
Well, this is hopeful. We'll at least be able to do something in the raid. Just we won't get the points we'd hoped.
This is the level 85, which used to be probably called the 100 or something. And I don't know if they changed the target layout looks the same. I don't know if they changed down the damage on this at all.
Well, you're doing all good on it.
Yeah. Close to instant repair, and you could probably do it for instant repair if you really wanted to.
This is how we wish the Punisher targets were.
I was going to hope for less than half my whole fleet, actually.
Well, back in the day, it was always 1 coin per million. That was always what we tried to budget for.
Yeah, that was the old days, though.
I know.
They started messing with it
The good old days.
until they started messing with the points that you need.
Which means I need to roll for Sea Serpent Cruise.
So yeah, I could have bought a whole fleet for what, about $60 US, and then spent 8 coins a target.
Well, it doesn't do you any good unless you have the dock.
Well, I
Oh.
understand, but what?
And the dock may not make a difference if you didn't have the build right. So,
Right.
Look at that.
They sold the.
Yeah, so you're
Good job.
probably instant repair on the dock, right?
12 minutes instant in the dock, yep. And that was, I wasn't paying very detailed attention to driving. 4 of those ships were U0, so it's about 100 times better.
It'll
Yep.
just take you 100 times longer to get there.
Maybe
So
only
everyone-
50.
Lower your expectations on what you're going to get out of this raid.
Well, let me take a look. Targets, you're going to get, well, we need to do what target was that again?
That was the 85. I got 100,000.
Okay.
The 87
40
would pay out 100,000.
There's the 406, which is the tricky one to get we only get 100,000 completion bonus.
Yeah, so they've done a thing. Instead of having a really high completion bonus, they have a really low completion bonus, which means that it's sort of optional to do that higher target because you don't get much reward from it in terms of a set bonus.
Yeah.
So you could just do, if you want, I don't know how many million points, 20 million, you could hit 200. Is my math right?
Yeah, 20 million, yeah. Yeah. No, 20, 200. Right?
And how many points do we need? How many points do we want if we want all the new stuff?
Okay, you want 3 trenchers.
Well, I would take 1.
Okay, 1 trencher, 6 million, 2 HT transformers,
5.
another 9 million,
5 more.
and then some throwers.
Yeah, throwers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the throwers
maybe
and the transformers, and then I didn't do bounty, so there's the 2 there's the two targets. I'm sorry, the two turrets. Well, at least the one turret. That's where would you find it?
Hellmouth or Farsight?
Yeah, the far sight. I mean, I'm hearing that's working better than the Hellmouth. At least it's easier to use. So, and these are limited. So,
Which one is the washing machine one go on? The agitator one. It's like a washing machine.
that goes on the trencher.
Okay. Is there a heavy gun in this for the Punisher?
Yeah, that's the heavy thrower.
Okay. Did she just post again, Chuck? Because it was already lowered. It wasn't the 102 they lowered.
Yeah, that was 22 minutes ago. So yeah, that's what we've already discussed.
I think they need to take whatever damage value they had at the start, divide that by 5. Maybe by, yeah.
So this was the co-op target, right?
No.
No. Sorry.
No, but these you could also get all these mines with suppressors, so unless they change that.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't. I didn't find a need to.
Didn't have to.
You didn't have to.
Just go down the middle there.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but it took away your points if those ships hit one of the mines. So if you wanted the most points, the most bang for the buck, you could get rid of the mines.
Yes.
And that is the second post on the 100.
Well, I'm looking at the announcements. I'm not seeing that, so I don't know if that's true.
Okay. Well, she might be posting it in Discord.
So, yeah, it's sort of sad if we have to go back and hit these targets again.
You know, I don't mind a 3-month raid cycle, but I want the same number of points for this that I got last raid. Or first raid.
Oh, you didn't say that the first time. You said, I want to be able to play the same raid for multiple times. They gave you that.
But I want the same points, too.
Oh, man, you want both.
I don't think I was asking for too much. My dock is like 10 days out, 9 days out.
My outpost is like 9 days out.
I was hit like every 36 hours for a week, so it slowed my outpost down, but I still wouldn't have my dock done anyway.
Yeah, keep you from talking trash in comms.
Now I hide from comms when trash talk starts.
Alpha, I don't know. Mine shouldn't matter now. Are you talking about the riot targets, or are you talking about the? I'm not sure what you're saying there. So clarify if you wish.
Mine shouldn't matter.
The mines do matter in this target right here because if ships run over them, you'll lose points.
Yeah. Your junk jets work more predictably than mine do.
Well, that's because they're better, because they're mine.
I'm
No comment.
Yeah, I'm staying out of this one, too.
Well, yeah, except for Aussies, like, they don't work right, So
Well, mine were inconsistent.
Yeah.
Sometimes they work great, and sometimes you'd be past the target, and all of a sudden they come out sideways instead of behind you. And it was just certain targets, I think, in certain areas of targets even. But these targets are not bad. These are fairly easy targets.
Oh, the first two aren't, but then the next one can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, I must forget that one. I'm not.
Was the next one a co-op one? And is it still a co-op one?
We'll see.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because people are going to be pretty disappointed if everybody's forced to do this. So,
Well, but people apparently already have 152 million, so
well, yeah, there's whatever that actually means.
I wonder if Kix listens to the majority of people that are struggling when there's a percentage of people that can do that.
Well, they would just blitz it either way, and blitz cost is probably about the same regardless of actual damage you're taking on the target. Okay, 15 minutes on that one, slightly under 100,000 points, probably because something ran over a mine.
Yeah.
I guess we'll repair that really quickly and then do the 406.
Makes sense to me because it's probably. Sorry, I'm trying to get this PvE haul calendar out.
Yeah, it's very
so people,
confusing.
yeah, so people can interpret it with me. So, because I'm like, okay.
No offense, Kixeye, but you could have made that a little more clear.
Yeah, it didn't need all the pictures.
Yeah, just dates would have been fine.
Or yeah, just a regular.
Or week 1, week 2, week 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, I understand what they're going for, but I just don't know that it makes sense.
So how many A targets do I need to get everything? Did anybody do that?
Probably about 300 different targets, maybe 400 different targets.
Wow.
And you might be able to do 4 an hour
No. He's
A
doing
little
it.
bit more quickly than that.
with the going back and forth to the base, finding the targets, doing them.
Yeah.
And if everybody's,
if you're really wasted.
which I usually am, so.
Yeah, well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
people keep on posting. I've gone to the announcements.
Yeah, I only saw it once.
Castles we reduce the damage. Yeah, this is from half an hour ago. So he's been hitting the targets, the new targets, which is the worrisome part about this. At least I hope. I hope they're not the new targets. I hope they're the old targets. But yeah, this is the 406. Okay.
Yeah, this was not co-op.
Yeah, I remember this one. It did use the suppressor in this one.
Yeah, it does make it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody that did the raid 2 raids ago and did it successfully, you'll be able to do something this raid.
Yeah.
310 something.
If you have,
It's 400 somethings.
if you have 12 to 14 hours a day to.
Yeah, because the way it's set up, you find one target that's your sweet spot with your build, and just keep on hitting it again and again until your eyes bleed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kleenex should be included.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since we're
Not toilet paper.
Yeah, most states are sold out of toilet paper, so yeah.
Maybe they should give toilet paper as a prize. People
Yeah,
would keep going.
yeah. I'm still the Northern Territory newspaper in Australia has since the area ran out of toilet paper over the coronavirus scare, they printed 8 additional pages to the newspaper with no newsprint on them, just cut lines to make your own toilet paper. So,
Well, that's nice of them.
yeah.
So on this particular cluster I'm hitting, if you drive on the exact right side of the screen, you can get away without hitting the mines on this bit every time.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I do recall this one. Yeah, I did use the suppressor to take out a chunk of the mines. It does take up more time, and I'm not really sure it's worth it.
Only time I felt like I needed the suppressor, I think it was the middle one.
The middle, right?
Middle was the hard one for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but once you get it in there,
So they all say.
I do know that
You can actually go to the right side and trigger that middle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was trying to think it was left side or right side, but I'll go back and trigger those on the right one to show
Yeah,
you
you can.
that.
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But you will have to go down this corridor, I believe.
Maybe it's the left one that was difficult.
I'm getting a little bit of lag in this one. And I'm picking up my highest survival ship, and I'm driving this one by itself through. Oh, I triggered somebody. 2 somebody.
uh-oh.
It's a good way. Good way.
Yeah, so when I hit one, it only damages that one ship, not everything else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's going to take so much longer, I did this one with the suppressor last time. Just took all the doggone mines out of the whole darn target.
And I just cleared
It
it
was
out.
probably overkill, but at least then I didn't have to worry about them at all.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it helps if they're not there. But it takes more time to take them all out.
Alrighty. Yeah, as far as cost benefit, yeah, the earlier targets look like they make more sense.
Yeah, unless they lower the damage a lot or figure out a path or a way for us people who have underbuilt ships and a dock that's not quite there, then this is the way to go.
Okay, well, 29 minutes damage, so that's like
Short
5
way.
minutes,
Yeah.
4 minutes in my dock. If I choose to do that.
Thank you, Derpy.
Yeah. You took pretty even damage, so it should be.
Yeah, probably be a couple minutes each one. But then you got the Kicks fleet too. I guess you probably could do one of the. While that's repairing, could probably go do one of the 85, is it, or 87?
Yeah, people could do that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. As far as like the bonus wasn't that huge to make it,
But, a lot of us have 2 riot fleets.
Yeah,
Got the one we built plus the one they gave us. So we've been repairing one and working on the other.
Well, it's probably enough target hitting for the moment.
Yeah, I think so as well. So thank you, Derpy. And let's get on to what we're doing this all for, I guess. All right. We have the X1 of the Atomic, the flagship for the Punisher on the left, and the normal Punisher on the right. The top block is a debuffing, a nerfing weapon. I'm assuming it works this way. I haven't seen any more details on it, but it's the Half-Life Heavy Launcher. It's a built-in thing. It has a firing angle of 30 degrees, which I'm assuming shoots out the front of the ship with a reload time of 8. And when it fires, it lasts for 4 seconds. It reduces the enemy ballistic damage and radioactive damage by 10% with up to a cap of 5. So it can affect, you can have 5 ships with this impacting it. And from the from what it's hit, the target that's hit, the turret, it should impact them for a range of 50. That's the way I'm reading this. Did anybody else have a different read on this weapon? Okay.
No, but it looks like it's something we're going to have.
Yeah, well, you have 5 of them because it's it depends
This
on
is the upgrade on the flagship, isn't it?
what.
Was this the upgrade on the flagship or the regular ones?
The one on the left is the flagship, and the one on the right is the normal ship.
Okay. Well, still.
The flag has the. Oops! I accidentally included. Made my box a little bit too big. The only difference is the Atomic, the flagship, has a nerf to the speed of the Revenge Mines of negative 80% combat speed. The box a little bit too large. They both have plus 10 million armor points, and they had ballistic survival and radioactive survival of 10,000 each, and radioactive damage of 65%.
Remember when upgrades were just supposed to be nice, but not necessary? I think it's going to be necessary in these targets.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, because these targets don't feel well tuned at all at this point, so it's sort of hard to tell. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of out of sorts with the whole thing, just because it doesn't look like we got the proper information up front, and it doesn't appear that the information that we did get was correct in regards to how they were tuning everything. So, yeah, it's either that or this is what their expectation is as far as how much damage we take. And they out of touch with the player base. So, but yeah, Derpy, this is both of them. I just didn't label them, but yeah, the flag is on the left.
Well, they're probably hearing from the player base and forums and Discord, I assume.
Yep. So, and
or they'll see it when people just don't play.
Yeah. So, if no comments on the X1, let's move on. Okay, sorry. Here is the actual, this is the 100. And that Derpy masterfully ran us through. And Derpy, do you remember how long you were taking on each target? It seemed like about 7-8 minutes.
Seems about right. Maybe a little bit shorter than that.
Okay. All right. And let's see the next one. Yeah. Yeah, this is the VXP target. I mean, as far as the layout. And the 507 or whatever it's called. I didn't get this whole one in, but Yeah, they're all, exceedingly long targets, and the 507 didn't seem to be, which is probably the goal, that the 507 probably the X target wasn't obtainable using the 200 dock weight ship.
Yeah, really need all those mines too.
No. Derpy was using as his own build, but he was limited by dock 15 weights of a 200K.
And if Mitchell's asking about the riots, I was using my own riot fleet, not Kick-Size riot fleet.
Okay, yeah, he was using his own. So I don't know. Don't talk too much, or maybe they're gonna want you to run through it again with the Kick-Size fleet.
I'll do that on my live stream.
Okay, all right, yeah. In 19 minutes, Derpy's gonna go live there. So
you get to see it all again, and Derpy will have a little prior knowledge, so he might even have figured out some tricks by then. So y'all tune in.
Yeah, and maybe he'll do it with the because that would make sense to do it with the free one. All right, let's see what's next. All right, the heavy thrower. It's just under 7 hours with my bonuses and whatnot. Doesn't appear to have any arcs or anything. It appears to fire in every direction. Does not have a multi-shot, so it's not impacted by a scatter system or anything that would increase your multi-shot. It also does not benefit from reload bonuses. I'm assuming it would be impacted by splash bonuses and projectile speed bonuses and things like that. So yeah, this one.
Any damage bonuses?
I don't know. All I know is what's written here. Does not benefit from reload bonuses. So goes in your heavy slot, and 7 hours of repair. Yeah, Cuttlefish said this should be a beast. It should help kill things much faster. I'm almost wondering, if it wasn't all, just tuned for dock 16 weight, but that you also had the heavy thrower on it. That's the way it looked when I saw it. But yeah, we'll see. And I don't know why it has 4 barrels and no multi-shot. Thoughts on that?
Because it looks cooler.
Well, the Draconian radioactive 4 barrel. It's in the name. 4 barrels. At least 4 multi-shots, right?
Should.
Salvo 4 even, but nothing.
Yeah. Single salvo and 4 barrels.
Well, it shoots one, cools off, and shoots another one.
Oh, that's what happened. I multiplied the damage by 4 and also the number of things on that picture by 4.
There you go.
Yeah. Kick's mouth. And right there in front of your eyes. Well, I think they all combine into one stream. My daughter and I went to Dave & Buster's and we're playing all these video games, and there's a couple of them. Both of us had to aim at the same target for it to impact anything. So that's sort of what this is. They're all 4.
Okay, let's see what the next one is, Mike. I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, I'll get the right button. Okay.
All right. The trencher, which we have not discussed, is 6 million each. We'll discuss that on Friday. I think that's the whole reason behind Tier 9 Conquerors not being allowed, because it's very good when it's sitting still, and when it's not. People probably have the Punisher, Atomic Punisher. Thrower is a limited weapon, 5 each at 3.75 million each. The agitator cannon, which goes with the trencher, is 2.5 unlimited. And if you haven't got all the antipode launchers, they're 2.25, limited of 10. The Golden Eagle, the Aramakila, that goes with your Praetorian. You can get 5 at 4.5 million. so quite expensive. And you can get 2 heavy transformers for 4.5 with a limit of 2, and the limit has been increased from 8 to 10. The Hellmouth Heavy Thrower also limited, and the Farsight Heavy Cannon also limited, 2.95 with a limit of 5. So,
All right. I have a question.
okay.
What am I going to have to get this raid? It's probably not going to be available for me to get in time to actually put on my ship or build. What do I have to get?
Well, like before, for your ship,
For my fleet?
for your Punisher.
I should get all the heavy throwers.
Yeah, the heavy throwers is probably, it's the only thing I really see here for your ship.
Of course, I want all the HT transformers because I'm tired of my base beam or whatever.
Yeah, and you only need to get 2 of those. So, and then you have, I'm probably going to go with the heavy cannon. It seems to be easier to implement than the heavy thrower for the helm as far as your turrets. And I personally haven't seen that much of a difference putting the Aramakila rockets on my Praetorians. I think I have 17 at this point. And I don't know that I've seen much difference, but has anybody else put them on and seen significant difference?
I put them on, but I've seen no difference.
Yeah. And as a reminder that you need to have cluster 3 for them to even make any difference. So,
The Ormaquilas?
Yeah. Or cluster 3 or your combo, you need to have.
You need to have a reload of your rocket reload should be about 375%. So I have cluster 1 and to save on weight and warhead reloader.
Okay.
Cluster 3 would also do the job.
Yeah. Yeah, but if your reload is below, I'll trust you on that 3, because it's been a while since I looked at that number, is below 375, you're probably actually doing less damage, because the Ermakilla has a longer reload, but it has higher damage. But if you look at just the blanket DPS without any specials, it does less DPS because of the longer reload. But if you get above 375, if you've maxed out the reload at 0.2 shots per second, so you will get an increase in damage, which has not been terribly notable at this point. If you have less than 8, you can get 5. Okay. I don't know. I'm just going according to the briefing, Matt. It says a limit of 2. So I don't know. Maybe it says something different in the game. Not,
Here it says 10. Or let's see. No, you're right, 2. Yeah, I thought they increased it. Didn't I see that at the top of the game? They increased it.
They increased the maximum that you can get to 10. But yeah, I don't know. It could be different because we've seen a lot of disagreement with what's in the briefing and what's in the actual game. So
Nathan's right. We'll need kits for the Punisher flag for X1 too.
Yeah, that's the next slide.
Okay, and I agree with Dynamite. A lot of us players that have stayed in the game and put time and effort in the game are now hitting the same targets that people coming back to the game are hitting.
Yeah. Next slide, Mike. It's odd. Well, I've put out, usually I just pick out certain prizes that I think are of use. Oh, wait, this is the same slide again. Click.
Yep, double.
Oh, okay. Try it one more time. Oh, crap. Somehow I deleted the wrong one, but
Just pick one and leave it.
Okay, another stuff.
You're making Lady Cat dizzy.
No, I was double checking myself to see if it was that.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're all important.
Yeah, this one's the tokens and whatnot. Because other stuff's not showing up here that I see on my version. So
Can somebody do the math for me and tell me how many upgrade tokens I need?
I know.
let's
Yeah,
see.
my shipyard's empty, so I need to go in and figure out how many I have now.
Does anybody know what the total is for a U1?
There's
For-
Well, for which one?
For U1. To get to U1, how many tokens per?
For which the flag or the normal one?
Not normal.
It's 24 to 60.
No, it's 10, 30, 60 for the normal ones. It's 10, 40, 80 for the flag, as far as getting up to U3, and then the token requirement is the same for X1 as to get to U3. So it would be, for a normal ship, it would be 10, 30, 60, 60.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So 160
I
total.
always forget those numbers and then have to go searching for them, and it usually takes me half an hour.
So, alrighty.
The question is, will we actually have shipyard time to get them there, and do we need all those tokens? Because I didn't even use all the Riot ones because never had enough shipyard time to get to U1. So it was wasted points.
So I'm going to end this show. By the time I'm done hosting the show, my computer moves so slowly that I can't even switch some of these things around.
Did you want to talk about the calendar that they put out?
It's not loading on his screen, so that's why we'll talk about it on Friday, because it's not. He's at end of slides, but that's what I'm saying. We're getting different things as far as what I see in the slides and what he's getting in the slides. So that's what I'm.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. That there's discrepancies. So does anybody have any parting words besides? We can see Derpy in 7 minutes hitting more targets.
Keep lowering the damage kicks.
Remember us regular players.
Yeah.
The meat and potatoes kind of people.
Don't quit the game yet.
And it's nice how he threw the yet in there at the end.
I've quit the game 10 times. I've given up quitting. I'm quitting on quitting.
Alrighty. Well, now we've had all these cheery words. We'll see you all on Friday, and we'll talk about some of the other prizes that somehow didn't make it to the slides properly, and that calendar, which I'm probably going to need some time to figure out as far as exactly what it means. There is a table associated with it, but yeah, we'll get to that. It is confusing. So, all right. Well, we'll see you all on Friday, and go watch Derpy, and y'all have a good night, and good luck on the raid, and good luck. What?
I was gonna say, have fun, everyone. Somehow.
Okay.
Find your fun where you can.
Yeah, and keep wish the best of luck to Stormcatcher. So,
Give them our best. Give them our best, please.